Hang on.
Okay,
11,
good
13,
morning,
12,
afternoon, evening,
13.
wherever you are. Welcome to NerdTube, and we're talking She-Hulk, baby, episode 3, The People versus Emil Blonsky. Okay, I'm here with Ginger Greek and the Master of Mystic Arts. We'll also be getting Cousin Cheeto coming soon.
I'm going to fire him as soon as he shows up here.
Yeah, damn right, coming in late all the time because he's got fucking kids. How dare he? Anyway, how did we find this episode, Ginger Greek?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's funny, you know. It's comedy that works because it's supposed to be a funny show, and they actually got writers that know how to do comedy, unlike literally all the other MCU stuff that just isn't fucking funny. Whereas this,
Yeah,
it makes me laugh. I like the characters. It's well done. It's not trying to be anything special or have world-ending events. It's just a lawyer. It's just a lawyer being a lawyer that happens to be a superhero. Yeah, and we've got a nice hint as to who the big boss is going to be as well. And I enjoyed seeing the Wrecking Crew, as stupid as they looked. Not showing the origins. Not showing the origins of their weapons now, but okay, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, and then I'll talk later on about the one thing that's gone viral about this episode.
Yes, yeah, because that's going to be an interesting part of the discussion about the episode.
Before I pass it on, welcome Cheeto.
Finally,
really late,
by the way, you're fired.
Cool.
No severance pay.
I pass it. Actually, I'll get to the comments after I get your initial thoughts. Master of the Mystic Arts.
What
did you think?
I thought it was all right. Damn it, it was a good episode. The fourth wall breaking actually felt natural, which is a good thing. I love to see that it felt natural. It felt organic. It felt funny. The way she would just pop her head in and be like, "Oh, okay, this is what we're talking about now," or "Oh, okay, this is what's happening." You know, I thought it was very good. I thought the pacing. Honestly, it was some of the best I've ever seen in the MCU all together overall. I felt that, you know, it was a well-paced episode. The dialogue was great. Emil Blonsky, he did his part. And I like the story with Megan Thee Stallion, but we'll get into that. It was some good shit.
And Father of the Year, Cousin Cheeto.
I thought it was good. Much better than Harley Quinn.
I've stopped watching that.
Well, and I didn't even watch last week's episode until yesterday, and then I watched 2 episodes in a row. And
I'm so sorry.
Anyway, so we're on She-Hulk. Anyway, no, I thought it was pretty good. I like the fact that they're leaning into the comedy aspect, the little bit more of the Deadpool-ish fourth wall breaking aspect of it. It feels natural for me. So I can't sit here and say like it was the best episode even so far, but it was definitely pretty good. I wasn't banging my head up against the wall.
No.
Okay. I also enjoyed this episode. My favorite part, and we will talk about it later on, but I just want to mention it now. It's just them making fun of those geeks and gamers, nerdodic type characters with those tweets where you saw at one particular point, and I just like that. That was pretty cool. All right, just quickly get into the comments here. First of all, we have Cara Hughes, who joined us yesterday, and very much appreciate Cara. I'm glad to see you back again. Trust me, I have nothing to add, but I'm just here for the company, and you are among the greatest company you'll ever know in your entire life. Turn on the tube spotlight and aims it at the sky. Shine it down on us, mate. Cara said I come for the company. Okay, Humble Pie, Marvel one-shots are canon and confirmed to be Earth 616. Episode, the consultant described what happens to Emil and shows a photo of the Incredible Hulk. Sorry, Rev, let's eat it up. You know what? You can mention that to him, and he'll still fucking deny it.
He'll fight you till the cows come home. Yeah,
you'll have Ed Norton. You could have the director. You could have fucking whoever. Yeah, you could have fucking Kevin Feige tell him. He'll still fucking deny it. You know, because just some people hate admitting that they're wrong. Jim Landscape says, hello, Commodore Boone is here and still mowing lawns. Yeah, baby.
Cheap plug.
Advance. Why does Smart Hulk wear glasses? Yeah, I know what. I keep forgetting to bring that up. Why the fuck does he wear glasses? I think
it's a part of the whole package. Smart Hulk.
Yeah, I'm smart.
He doesn't want people to know his secret identity, so he does what Superman does and puts glasses on.
Exactly. I feel so grey, but blue jacket be better. Okay, mate. And finally, flattery will get you everywhere. Thank you very much. I am very flattery type person. All right, let's get on to the.
I'm very flattery. Oh, I mean flattery.
Yeah.
I'm very charming. You fucking brain-dead goof.
Whatever, man. Whatever. All right. Okay, Here we go. So, She-Hulk, episode 3, the people versus Emil Blonsky. As always, gentlemen, when you want to butt in. She-Hulk arrives at the supervillain prison and confronts Blonsky about being in a fight club outside the cell as Abomination.
In the first rule of Fight Club, we don't talk about Fight Club, but go on.
Well, Blonsky says he was forced against his will to do it by the Sorcerer Supreme of the Mystic Arts called Wong. Nikki has been given the task to find Wong, and Jennifer Walters' 4-4 breaks whilst driving with her hands off the wheel, saying that there'll be many cameos, but remember, this is my motherfucking show. We then
bitch.
We then see new broadcasts about Jennifer being She-Hulk and rumors about how she became She-Hulk, maybe a mafia hit and shit like that. Then immediately we then get fandom menace incel tweets upset that there's an existence of a female superhero, and why does she have to be a male superhero? Why can't she just be her own superhero? Like, fuck me, man. That's something. And I'm really happy to a degree, I'm going to intervene on my own fucking thing here. I'm really happy to a degree that they are taking the piss out of these people.
Yeah, because they're all like, now we're just going to go there because we know you idiots are going to say this shit anyway.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Like, they're predictable. They really are. So
why can't you be our own superhero? Just shut up. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Nikki advises Jen to embrace her newfound celebrity status, but Jen thinks the media circus will die down after the Blonsky case. Jen then bumps into an old workmate, Dennis, who's at her firm. Dennis has been frauded by an Asgardian shapeshifter who pretends to be a famous person called Megan the Stallion. This is the first time I heard of her, by the way.
And if you ever say that, if you ever put anything that... And if you ever put anything,
people you can pose as, you go Megan the Stallion. It's just.
And Cheeto, if you ever put anything like that in the chat again, I will fight you on the side of the street. I don't know what street, but I will fight you on the side of the street.
No. Post credits of this review is going to be twerking.
No, it ain't neither.
Okay, well, Pug, aka Prometheus from Arrow, is gonna take up this case, and just then Wong portals himself into the office wanting to speak to Jen. You know what's so funny? Because people look at this show as almost like a sitcom. Mm-hmm. And somebody said on a review I watched that when Wong came in, you just expect people to go, "Ooh, yeah, Wong!"
Yeah, like whenever a special guest shows, whenever a special guest shows up, they go, "Ah!" and then they all clap like crazy for about 3 minutes.
Yeah, exactly, like the Fonzies walk through the door or something.
Hey, God, we're old.
Wong speaks to Jennifer and says that Blonsky's confession is actually factual, and he is the new Sorcerer Supreme, and he had to challenge himself with a worthy opponent. Now, once again, I'm going to intervene on my own thingy here because you guys also saw Shang-Chi, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
When he fought Abomination in Shang-Chi, afterwards he says to Abomination, "Listen, Amil, you got to stop pulling your punches," because they staged the whole fucking fight.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't for real. So there's either something that there's a mistake in the writing here, or they're hiding something, if you know what I mean.
Continuity error, I think, but yeah.
Probably continuity, or the Sorcerer Supreme, just a dirty little liar.
Yeah. Anyway, Wong not understanding how the American legal system works, trust me, most people don't, has to testify to a panel of judges about what he did. Pug is dissecting his new client, Dennis, for the facts on how much he was defrauded, and Dennis then walks away. He then comes back saying he wants to drop the case. The Pug's phone rings, and it's Dennis making Pug realize that the Dennis in his room is actually the Light Elf. The Light Elf being busted, she changes into Pug, saying that he sexually harasses women to his female colleagues.
That was the best part of the show.
Yeah, that was the funniest part of the show. He comes out of
the office, he goes, "I like to sexually harass my colleagues."
And then moments later, "No, I don't. You all know who I am." And they still look at him like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
But then she changes from Pug back to herself and goes, "Let that be a warning."
Mm-hmm.
So Jen tries to sneak back into the supervillain prison with lots of press outside, making up stories.
Sam, move closer to your mic, dude. I can barely hear you.
Sorry. How about that?
That's better. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Jen tries to
Much
sneak
better.
back into the supervillain prison with lots of press outside, making up stories like she's been rejected from the Avengers. Blonski's trial begins with all his pen pal girlfriends dressed like bloody something.
They look like they belong in a fucking insane asylum. Like that was my first thought. I was like,
Val sent them to kind of be the decoys. You know?
Yeah.
What I mean?
Mhm. I'm like, do these
the seven soulmates is the Thunderbolts. I mean, we all know that. Like the seven soulmates are just it's a decoy.
Yep. But they all look like they belong in an insane asylum. Like that was my first thought. Like I'm like, how the hell did these crazy people get out?
They probably
Easter egg to the
Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts. Yeah. I think it's an Easter egg of the Thunderbolts. I don't think they're the they're the Thunderbolts themselves. You know what I mean? But yeah. So where else? I said Blonski trial begins with pen pal girlfriends dressed the same in attendance. Wong is supposed to be there, but he's running late, stressing Jen because he can portal himself anywhere, and he should never be late. Jen stalls Wong's absence by making Blonsky testify first. He has his own plot of land, and all his girlfriends will financially support him. Jen gets other members of the prison system who knows and to testify, with a guard saying Blonsky saved his marriage.
He saved my marriage. Fuck you, Carla. I hate you. And then he's like, "All right, dude, it's over. Jesus, accept it."
However, Blonsky did escape for a fight club, and that issue has not been addressed. And just then, Wong portals in, apologizes for his lateness, and begins his testimony.
I lost track of time.
Okay. Before we continue, I was going to get to some comments here. So Kara Hughes, sorry, I apologize. I already got to that one.
You just like hearing it. You just like seeing it.
Don't fall, full brake, and drive. I do that all the time. Trust me.
A fourth wall break inside a fourth wall break. It's like 16 walls.
I question whether Emil's soulmates were. What's that? The Persides? Is that you say it?
Persides.
Okay.
Like Dark Side.
Seven Sisters.
Persides.
Until he named them. See, like Daniel Vance, an encyclopedia of knowledge. Kara Hughes, actually, I wonder if anyone knows what continuity is, let alone abiding by it. I mean, everyone has been resurrected at least once, apart from Uncle Ben. Yeah.
Poor Uncle Ben. He's been killed more times than
he's been dead more times than anybody throughout Marvel. So yeah, I don't know.
There's a timeline where Uncle Ben's alive and
Peter probably dies
first,
or May dies first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben is fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's true. That's somewhere in an alternate.
But that's
universe.
The next thing Marvel's doing now. Like recently, they've been killing off Aunt May as well. You know, what I mean, she's not fucking safe anymore. So
no one is.
Yeah.
I mean, she looked like she was in her 80s in the 70s. Like, come on. Like, I get it. There's like time dilation going on with comic books. So I understand it. But I'm like, dude, I mean, eventually she's got to hit 99. Like, you know, even with time dilation.
Anyways, we cut to the legal issues of Dennis versus the Asgardian Light Elf. The elf wants diplomatic immunity and tries to give that Asgardian that Asgard is not a place but a people bullshit, but the judge squashes that.
She tries to go full Thor. I thought that was funny. She tries to do like a motivational speech, and the judge immediately shuts that shit down. Like, that ain't gonna work for me, brother. That doesn't work here.
Thor never gave that speech. It was Odin and Heimdall.
Yeah, but Thor's motivational speeches won't work here. That's what he says. He shut that shit down immediately.
I mean, to be fair, the judge wasn't there, so he probably just assumed that Thor made that speech. Like, that sounds like something that prolific bastard would say.
Sorry, my birds are like pissing me off. I need to get them out. Come on, darling. Bruty, come on, fat bastard.
Yeah, it's not a highlight until we see the birds.
All right, so they were like, "Oh my god, like, get me the fuck out of here!" All right, so fair enough. So Pug rebukes, saying it's a cut and dry case, that his client was frauded by a scam artist and deserves compensation. The judge agrees and says that there will be a trial. The Light Elf then pretends to be the judge and tries to dismiss the case, but this becomes predictable, and she basically further incriminates herself by impersonating the judge. Wong gives his testimony and saying Blonski had no choice but to leave his cell But he did have the choice to return, even though he was offered a place in the Himalayas to live out his days. He chose to go back to his cell to pay his debt to society. The judge, not completely satisfied, wonders what will happen if Blonsky becomes Abomination again. Blonsky changes to Abomination and shows that he has complete control of the monster. He changes back, and Jen gives her closing statement. And Wong is then told that he committed a felony by breaking Blonsky out of prison. So he forces himself the fuck out of there.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like they, to a degree, they can, like, they'll know that he's got a place in New York and stuff like that. I know he'll be difficult to get to, especially if he's not in America. But still, and he's part of the Avengers, so maybe they'll ask the Avengers, listen, one of your own has fucking committed a crime.
Yeah, can you bring him in or something? Yeah.
Exactly.
Wong gonna be like, yeah, fuck that, man. Like I'm gonna go do what I gotta do. I don't have time for this shit.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Jen, Nikki, and Pug are at legalese with Jen fourth-walling the connection of the A and B story. Pug comes up with an idea and asks Jen to confess at his trial. Then at the trial, Jen drops truth that Dennis is a self-absorbed, entitled, delusional idiot who would think he's capable of dating someone like Megan Thee Stallion. Because one thing I forgot to mention is that the judge found it hard to believe that
they were dating. Yeah,
exactly. But
that he was stupid enough to think that they were dating.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy went to law school. Like,
but you would be surprised. You would be surprised at the things people do to catfish people. Like, this is a quick plug. If you guys haven't seen the Manti Te'o Untold Netflix story, y'all need to watch that shit. Because I remember the time that all that crazy shit happened. Wow. But yeah, you would be surprised.
I used to catfish all my friends in the fucking beginning of like chat room days, like in the late 90s. I used to get them to go and meet me at a station. I'd just be sitting there like with a pint
what's up, motherfucker?
How did you fucking fall for this again? So believe me, people are dumb enough to believe anything.
Yep.
Exactly. Anyway, judge agrees and awards the case to Dennis and sentences the Light Elf to 60 days in jail for impersonating a judge.
Which ain't shit.
Honestly, that Light Elf gets away easily.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone else think that Light Elf looked like fucking Martin Short in drag? I
see it.
I see it.
You can't unsee that now. Yeah, you can't unsee it now. It's going to be one of those burned into your brain for life.
Anyway, the real Megan Thee Stallion's in the courtroom and happy with the verdict, saying that's right. There's only one Megan Thee Stallion. Jen's at the prison waiting on the verdict for Blonsky and gets the good news, and Blonsky's out of parole and he's never allowed to turn into Abomination ever again. And he has to wear an inhibitor as well. So
what inhibitor here? Because the Hulk's gone, they're not going to get his inhibitor, are they?
Yeah, he said it was a prototype as well.
Yeah, so there's
a prototype. So here's the plot hole. What inhibitor? Because fuck me, if they had an inhibitor,
they would have showed it already.
I would have loved to have had it.
Yeah, and they would have shown that already. So yeah, they
fucked up there.
I agree. There's some continuity errors there, but there also have been inhibitors for, like, remember Scarlet Witch had one on in Civil War. So I mean, they apparently are out there, but I agree with you. Like, why were they not using these things in other scenarios? So it's one of those things that it's like, well, this is in the universe, but we just haven't used it. Well, why not? Why isn't Hulk using it? Is it because it's like government property and he can't get his hands on one? But then again, it's kind of like, you figure the resources of Bruce Banner would be able to get something like that, and maybe he doesn't. I don't know. I agree with you guys. It is definitely a continuity issue, but at the same time, I know there are inhibitors out there. There's been other instances. I just can't remember them right now. I'm sure people in the comments and in the chat will remind me.
Okay, so
do you want to get to some of the chat before we?
Okay. What happened if Amil is exposed to Jen's blood?
I don't think that. I think he's already a Hulk, so I mean, it might mutate him further, maybe. But
yeah, it might mutate him further. He might get a little stronger, but I don't see anything crazy.
Well, considering it's like similar to like he did get exposed to Bruce's blood, which is like the same thing. So I don't.
It's Marvel.
Yeah.
Keep going, Sam. Sorry.
Yep.
Sam is letting the plumpy boy fly on stream. Well, my plumpy girl is. Yeah, my Plumpy Boys. I already seen him, and he's hidden behind the curtain. That's one of his favorite.
Damn, good catch, Vance.
The attorney who prosecuted Abomination was Gideon Wilson. He was Sam Wilson, Falcon's brother in the comics, and went on to become a member of Gamma Corps. Yeah, I saw.
I did hear that.
Small World. I'm not sure if I like that. The guy's name outside the prison was Foley. This is a reference to Anne Foley's costume design of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and She-Hulk.
Where are you getting this shit?
Oh, he's out of his brain.
He knows.
He knows.
He
As
knows.
I said, if
he
could
just
get him on,
reads his stuff, knows his stuff.
Yeah, I mean, he's in the encyclopedia of NerdTube.
Oh yeah, they use Inhibitor in Ms. Marvel.
Yeah,
okay.
I knew I had seen him somewhere else.
Yeah.
That explains it.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
Powers
like, the technology is out there. It's just why it is a definite continuity error as to why it's not being used in all the places it should be. You know what I mean?
So Jen goes on the news network to explain what happened, and instead of talking about the case, the anchor asked how she came up with the name She-Hulk, and after the break, we will share her diet and exercise secrets, prompting Jen to say, "What?" As Jen goes home, yeah, that was funny. As Jen goes home, she's mugged by some guys with Asgardian weapons. What were they called again, Jen? You mentioned their name.
The Wrecking Crew.
Wrecking Crew.
Oh, the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
Now, this is my sad point of the episode.
Called the Jobbers.
That Wrecking Crew looks...
They look so fucking basic. Yeah.
They look malnourished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just look like they came straight out of fucking ballet class and tried to attack somebody. It just... it's nice to get the Wrecking Crew, but yeah, they're just
I like that. I like that.
Weeds.
I like that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and I believe that I'm trying to remember. Is there weapons in the comic book? I know they're infused with. Is it Asgardian magic? Is that why it's Asgardian, or is it magic? I can't remember.
It's magic. It's not. It's nothing to do with Asgard in the comic books.
So it might still be magic. Just Jen was just like, "What'd you do, Robin? All the Asgardian, whatever."
Yeah,
Asgardian construction worker. Like that itself was like really weird. Like
and then she
construction
worker.
Worker?
and then she did that trope that they do. They're like, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot. I could transform and fuck them up." And then she's like, "Yo, you want to go? Let's go." Because like this is what the fuck they've been waiting for. So it's like, okay, so we finally got She-Hulk wrecking shit.
So, but here's the thing, though. See, the way I would have done the scene much better is I would have had the Wrecking Crew show up with those weapons, but not infused with magic.
Yeah.
And then try to wreck She-Hulk, and then they would fail utterly. And then whoever one of the main villains are or whatever would have imbued those weapons with magic. And then the next episode, they would have had a chance to go after her again.
Yeah, it would have been like, "Oh, we'll be back." Yeah.
But I agree, or maybe Thor shows up, and says, "Whoever be worthy will have the power of Thor," and then electricity will fly through them, and then Thor leaves.
Because she did say, "Yeah, we're going to get a cameo every single fucking week." It seems like, even though it's our motherfucking show.
Well, but also, Thor is the one who's also imbuing, imbuing weapons and objects from weapons. So Thor could have made the Wrecking Crew. Why not?
Why not?
This is the level of bullshit we're at. So
yeah.
Just Kari, who's Young Justice is the DC universe. So
there are inhibitor collars in Young Justice, but it's DC and it's animated.
Completely different fucking thing.
But you are correct. There are inhibitor collars in Young Justice.
Yep.
Okay. And by the way, Cousin Cheeto, big Young Justice fan. Probably the biggest Young Justice fan I've ever known in my entire life.
Nerd!
Good show,
as I said earlier, as Jen goes home, she's mugged by some guys with Asgardian weapons who are trying to get her blood, but she fucks them over. But for some stupid reason, she lets them escape. I mean, like, how is that? Well, why? I just don't get it. She's a lawyer, for fuck's sake. Bring him in.
I'm pretty sure that one dude that she threw up in the air, his back is broken. Like,
yeah, it's broke. Like he ain't walking again.
Exactly. And but as she picks up her stuff, she sees her reflection in the car window. And I think this is when she's kind of like embracing her She-Hulk persona now.
You're a superhero now, damn it, whether you like it or not. Yeah.
No, but I think she it was really good that I was She-Hulk. No one can fuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. So we get to the post-credit scene, and Megan Thee Stallion has Jen
and here we go, kids. This is going to be the interesting part, the most interesting part of the whole episode, because I've seen Twitter overreact like crazy these past couple of days.
Over this is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, Yeah, go ahead though.
Well, let me get to it first. Anyway, they start dancing and then they start twerking. Megan says Jen is way more fun than the previous lawyer, and then Jen gets carried away saying she will kill for you, Megan. All
right, dial it back.
And with that, she said, "Yeah, dial it." Megan says, "Yeah, dial it back." That was hilarious, and that's how the episode ends.
So I'm going to point out this tweet. Somebody said people got pissed over like Thor being fat and Iron Man pissing his pants. Like people like didn't say shit about Thor getting fat and Iron Man pissing his pants, and this is what the fuck they're angry about is She-Hulk twerking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's like the one show where you expect silliness and comedy, and you're getting triggered by that, but you allow fucking James Gunn and Taika Waititi to run absolute riot with childish fucking comedy and say it's the best bloody thing in the world. It's the best fucking Thor, the Ragnarok, and all this kind of shit. I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. Fuck you, you absolute hypocrites.
And then they also said too,
the twerking is where you draw the line.
Yeah, and they also said too, like people were mad, like they were like, She-Hulk, we're not going to make her like objectified like as a sexual woman, and then they show her twerking, and I'm like, what kind of shit is this? I'm like, where are we going with this? Like, what are we so angry about?
Well, there's some people who, I mean, unfortunately, there's influencers out there who've made a career of just being upset and angry, and there's a lot about people out there that they could.
It's the cool thing to do now. Yeah, you got to be pissed at everything.
It's the cool thing to do. You just have to, trust me. I don't want to say that. I don't want to go down that route. There's nothing cool about it as well. But, but it's usually incels who are the ones pissed off about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, but. They're happy. They're not happy when a woman's not being sexual and objectified, and when she is.
I know it's like, come on. It's like, come on, guys. Yeah.
Here's the thing. Disgrace to my fucking gender.
Yeah, sorry? I mean, it's not like she was being objectified. They were having a good time. Like it was.
I agree.
It's not like it was like they were being paraded. It's like no, like. They were having a good time. It was fun. Like if this was real life, I know this is a TV show, but it's like, who knows? Who knows if this wasn't like one of their ideas on the set that day? It's like, what if we were just like a post-credit scene where we're twerking?
Yep, and people got pissed about that, and I'm like, this is what you're pissed off about.
It's just you can't pick and choose your battles where it fucking suits you. You either. Especially on a show that's legitimately meant to be a fucking comedy. It took straight from Dan Slott's comic. That is a comedy. And here you're getting pissed off because they're twerking. There's been way more worse shit than this. It's just like
we're not gonna
selective outrage. It's just sad.
Yeah, we're not gonna get angry at Thor getting fat and getting at his lowest point. We're not going to talk about Tony Stark pissing himself. We're not going to talk about.
A lot of people got upset about Thor getting fat, but that's only because they couldn't objectify him during the, But it was actually a really good.
It was a good story arc, though.
It was a good story arc for him on depression and PTSD and everything.
Well, in 4-4, like he got naked and he made everyone faint. You know what I mean? No one gave a shit. But he's so manly. Yeah, he's a man. Like my fucking
man.
Body, my fucking hammer.
I gotta. Okay. I gotta
for the clicks, baby.
Anyway. I gotta do this. Since he said Thor's a man, he's a man, such a man. He's a real man's man.
Is that wrestling?
Yep.
No, you know what?
If none of you get that reference,
we've got to cut down on the wrestling references when it comes to other shows.
Why?
God damn it. Because you're fired.
No, I'm Vince McMahon, damn it. That's how this works around here, pal.
Well, just go.
I don't want everything to be a wrestling reference in everything we do.
Dude, how do you think most of us met?
Yeah. How do you think we met?
I know.
Well, look, very, very briefly, in Infinity War, like they made fun of Peter Quill being fat and stuff like that. No one gave a shit. They were talking about, you had Drax going on about Thor being a man. He's not just a guy. He's a man.
He's a man. This is not a dude.
Yeah, I mean, like fucking Gamora stroking his muscles and shit like that. Like seriously, come on, like it's ridiculous. It's.
Oh, but I give it
even Black Widow as well. It's like they, they put in the most tightest outfits and we're getting our ass shot all the time.
I give it a week. I think they'll forget about this in a week, and then they're just going to find something else to be mad about. Yeah.
I am going to get to my thing in a second, and when I say thing, it's just a question I'd like to ask all of you. But before I do that, comment time, baby. So, Cara says, yeah. But let's face it, all comics and superheroes. Okay. I've just
they'll stone you for that now that you. They'll stone you for that now that you just said that.
Yeah. Some groups. Well, the leader of the Wrecking Crew is Thunderball, aka Black Bruce Banner, named such for his expertise in gamma radiation. Okay, I thought he was always an expert in gamma radiation. But I can't help but feel Emil is behind the Wrecking Crew and that Roxxon is involved. Interesting.
The person they're getting the blood for is definitely the leader.
Yep.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. No tube. I know.
It's actually called the leader, not just the leader.
Yeah.
Oh.
The guy from Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
As I say, I wonder if it'll be the same actor. As I say, it's all superheroes comics. Actually, there's a long history of sexualizing women to bring them down. Yeah, those were the old days, and thank God those days are gone. And my brother's favorite superhero is Wolverine. Good choice. What makes you think that it hasn't happened in real life? I'm not sure what she's on about there.
When I said, I think that's when I said, it's not like the twerking wasn't happening. Like it was CGI She-Hulk doing it, and probably some motion capture. But I think that's what she was talking about.
A couple of things. If you notice, Jen hasn't sorted out her wardrobe yet. It looks like she's wearing a men's suits when she's in She-Hulk form. Because those suits, they're very
baggy,
masculine, and they don't look like
when she's gender baggy. When she's She-Hulk,
so it looks like she's got suits like that. But here's my thing: Emil Blonsky. Last week, I'm sure he was playing the long con. This week, I'm not so sure because you got even Wong, vouching for him as well now. Do you genuinely feel that there is a bit of change with Emil Blonsky? Because if he's playing a long game, what's he playing a long game for? What's he trying to get? He is out. Why does he need to start wrecking shit again? He's out.
But no, I think he's going to still be a part of the Thunderbolts like that.
No doubt. That's a different. That's a whole different thing. He'll be recruited into that. And it gives him a purpose, so to speak. But people are wondering if he's playing a lot. That aside, though, Cheeto, if he has an ulterior motive, what would that be? Because for me, I think I'm actually starting to think that he is genuine. He had an opportunity to escape when he did escape, and he didn't. He went back into his cell.
I'm not believing it until he saves somebody.
I get what you're coming from, Zam. I mean, I agree with you. Maybe I think through the course of this show, because we're going to see more of Emil Blonsky. We've seen it in trailers. There's other stuff going on with him. So I think through the course of this show, we might see a turn in Emil. Like maybe he is. Maybe you're right. Maybe there isn't a long con. He just wants to get out and do what he wants to do. But maybe also we get, maybe he's not been recruited by the Thunderbolts yet. So maybe, he gets out and then Val approaches him and says, hey.
If they're going to do it. If they're going to
he literally could have escaped in Madripoor, and there couldn't have been a fucking thing they would have done about it.
Yeah,
exactly. And people were testifying for him, guards, people within the prison system.
I think if anything, what they're going to do is She-Hulk will get in the big fight toward the end, and that's going to be his moment of like, oh, okay, I'm here to save you and that kind of shit. And then we go on to the Thunderbolts. I think that's how I see it kind of going down.
Well, I do think we're done with Wong now. I think we won't see Wong anymore.
No, he's out.
Yeah, no, he's coming back. It's confirmed. He's in another, but
he's in another episode.
I don't think it has anything to do with Emil. I think he comes back and he wants to sue a magician or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But he's just like another comedy bit. He's wanted for breaking a prisoner out of jail. Doesn't matter what he wants to sue. He's fucked.
You're looking for logic in a Marvel kind of show.
You're looking for logic in an illogical situation.
He could probably never step back in America again.
Oh, he'll be back in America. He can walk in. He can walk in and get a hot dog right now and go literally right back to where he need to go.
Yeah, well, he never had any money on him. Remember that?
Yeah,
he's always asking Stephen Strange for cash.
I mean, even Ginger can walk out.
Yeah, he just did. He'll be back.
His crappy phone.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's my thing. I'm actually generally hoping that he has changed and he has reformed, and he's got fucking 7 girlfriends.
But here's the thing.
He's got 7 girlfriends. Oh, sorry.
Mobile, you press one button and you get kicked out.
So here's my thing about the 7 girlfriends. I see, like, Zam, I see where you're coming from about this. There's no long con, but what happens is he gets out and he finds out that these 7 girlfriends are not actually like they're not actually his girlfriends. Like, they were being used by Val to motivate Abomination to get out of prison, so that,
because we have shit to do. Yeah.
So I think that is, I think that's the direction they're going. That's where I see it going. Could be wrong, but I really feel like the whole 7 girlfriends
is like a ploy kind of gimmick. Yeah.
How many episodes is She-Hulk?
9.
Okay.
And we're on 3. So
did you see, like, with the comic book strip before the post-credit scene, like, they were crying as he was being driven away in a bus because he's on, like, he was leaving them, I think, or something like that. It was really hard to tell, but it's just a comic strip. But
yeah, women can choke up those tears at any given time, right? I mean,
they can cry literally about nothing. Like, I've seen that happen. Like, women just break down and cry for no fucking reason.
Bitches be tripping.
Yeah, bitches be tripping. Hashtag bitches be tripping. It be happening too.
Anyway, regardless, I don't want to go there. But regardless, I was trying to watch it. I actually watched this episode 3 times.
You watched it more than it 3 times.
I forgot when I watched it the second time to do my play-by-play. I forgot to take any notes, so I had to watch it.
That's not like you. Oh my god! What did we do with the real Zam, guys? I'm a little concerned. Like, this is not Zam.
Anyways, well,
Elf, is that you?
Yeah, so
he's a light elf.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're going to see more of Martin Short again as well. Like,
probably
because we haven't, with Loki out the scene, we haven't got like a shapeshifter or an impersonator, so to speak.
Any word on when Loki's going to be back? Have they said when season 2 is yet?
Season 2 is
probably started filming it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Season 2 is probably going to be mid-year next year. It was, I mean, from where it was on the slate, and I think they're releasing a trailer at D23.
Okay, because I know they're filming right now currently. I know I've seen that, like, on Twitter. They're in the process of filming at the moment.
Yeah. If you look at the Comic-Con lineup, like, it's about halfway, or at least the
June kind of next year. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe like spring of next year. They're looking at. I mean, their D23 is coming up next weekend, and I mean we've got they're gonna release probably more of Phase 6, and they're probably gonna release some trailers. So
they'll probably announce the X-Men there as well.
Yeah, X-Men.
We're gonna announce their big stuff there.
Phase 4 has been a shit show, and I think they're gonna try and do course correction now for Phase 5 because they tried to kind of target a different demographic, and it's backfired on them. So they're gonna.
And I've been here
really all back to what made it great again, because this route they've taken is just been inconsistent. Hang on, dude. Yeah, hang on.
Yeah,
and it's just been an inconsistent car crash, to be honest. And they need to just get a bit more fucking serious with it as well. It's like, okay, this show's the comedy, but every other show's a fucking comedy as well. Like, it doesn't bode well for Daredevil. And all that. And the one thing that really pissed me off in this episode was when one of the reporters alludes to her actual origins of her getting shot by the mafia early on in the episode. And I was like, oh, don't do that. Don't tease us with the actual origins we wanted to what we got. But anyway, round's over.
But now we're going to Marvel. We're going to make Marvel great again. God damn it. That's what we're focusing on at the moment.
I do think, regarding the seriousness, I think, people are hedging their bets on the Black Panther film being that, with the somber,
That's going to be a rough
story.
watch.
I'm hearing people be like, yeah, I'm tapping out on Marvel. I'm like, be patient, people. God, because I know we want the X-Men. Okay, we get it. We know, but we can't have everything that quick, okay? It takes a while.
The fact that they haven't actually announced the X-Men as well with all the shit they gave us in the phases.
But I don't.
Phase 6, I think
I'm okay with that. I don't want them to rush.
Yeah, don't rush it.
I'm okay with them bringing in obscure characters and all of that. They're just not bringing in interesting obscure characters. They're giving us the ones that caused massive shitstorms when they did it in the comic books, and the fact that they're stubborn and they're stuck with certain characters is just like, okay, fine. Well, you're just not going to get people watching these shows.
Yeah, and this is supposed to be the silver age of the MCU, but a lot of it kind of felt like meh.
When everything feels like it's going for a similar theme, then the people that are the target are just about, well, even for me, this is just the same shit.
Yeah, it doesn't stand out
over with a different coat of paint. So it's like, why am I going to watch this?
Huh? Kind of like Madden and FIFA.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like Madden. Different color paint, and we expect viewers.
And yeah, they expect viewers, and it's almost like like when we were at Endgame, like they could have put, and they did a good job because they didn't put half the stuff out in the trailers. They left it very bare bones, with the trailers for Endgame, and they knew everyone was showing up. But right now, it's like they're losing that good faith.
Yeah, because I've been seeing it on Twitter. Like people are like, "Yeah, I'm about to tap out on Marvel," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's looking that way." Like people are kind of saying, "Yeah, I'm about done with Marvel," because it just hasn't really felt like outstanding. Like there hasn't been much great happening yet, and I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see where people are coming from. People got to pick it up a little bit, but at the same time, you also kind of have to be patient too.
But that's also because you got Black Widow that came out 4 years too late.
Yeah.
And as I said, I didn't think it was a bad movie, but it was just 4 years too
late.
No, it was a bad film. It was a bad fucking film. Black Widow is one of the worst MCU films.
Wow.
It was stupid through and through. Given the severity of her backstory, and they turned it into a fucking comedy, it pissed me off. They screwed Taskmaster. The plot holes were stupid. The plot was stupid. The big fucking ending was stupid. It was a shit film.
Like Ray Winston became a shit actor in that film. How's that possible?
Because they made him do an accent. He can't do fucking accents. He's a Cockney. That's the only accent he can do.
He can do American accents. In Departed, he was all right, but Russian accents maybe not. Yeah,
But without going into a whole Phase 4 review, it's like, you guys are right.
This is the worst phase they've done so far, and not even like. And when I say worst, I don't mean like, oh, this is completely bad. It's just been okay.
Well, but even if you're looking at just the movies at this point, which I know the shows count to the MCU now, but it's just like even if you just look at the movies, like you got the good ones you have are Doctor Strange, I think is good.
Yeah.
Spider-Man No Way Home was excellent in my opinion. And Thor Love and Thunder was below average in my opinion.
One of the worst MCU films.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I disagree. It's definitely better than Ragnarok for me. I agree with you. It's not great, but
no, it's not. Oh, I just hate those films both.
So what do they have to do to pick it up? Because if people are tapping out, what do you do?
I think Wakanda Forever
is going to bring them back
with the inclusion of Namor and all that. I think that's going to start to be the turnaround here because if you look at the slate moving forward, they actually have some good things. If they actually take Ant-Man Quantumania seriously, it doesn't have to be a serious movie, but like if they actually take it seriously,
if you start to see implications of what's to come, then I'm like,
but the problem is that they're not. They're going to keep the same tone, the same light-hearted tone.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Becoming tedious,
not like kind of just throwing shit at the wall at this point, So I don't know. I feel like Wakanda Forever seems like it's going to be a bit of a turning point for the MCU, where it's going to start.
They're definitely. From the way they announced Phase 4 and 5, they've definitely been shook by what's happened with Phase 4, because Wonder Man came out of nowhere. Okay, and Wonder Man. Who would have put that on a slate? But it is a character. I wouldn't. Not with again, from the characters that they're going for and the demographic that they're trying to hook in, I never saw it coming. I'm glad they're doing it because it's actually very interesting origins and a very interesting character and all this kind of stuff. But you can tell that if I mean, I'll be shocked if they do it, but with Phase 5, they're going to try and go back to what made it great. And they might not dip into the world too much of the kind of new characters that they introduce. Like, I think Echo might be a one and done, and I think they're going to pile that show with loads of different characters. That I think they're even hinting at introducing the mutants in that show, just because nobody gives a flying fuck. I don't want to disrespect the actress, obviously, that's in. It's nothing against her. It's just the character Echo. Nobody gives a shit about Echo. Daredevil and Kingpin being in that makes perfect sense as well, because that's where Echo is from. But these kind of characters, I don't think they're gonna now try and dip into more of these kind of ones. I think they're gonna just stick to the more kind of mainstream ones that they had that have a massive legacy in the comics.
If anything, go ahead.
I think the Eternals rocked them really hard too, like in the movie aspect. They're just like they were excited. I really feel like they were expecting that to be like this great, like
the big shebang bang, and it didn't.
Like a mini Avengers.
Yeah,
no, I feel like they thought that it would be this great character, like this group character study, and that they could bring all these characters in, but the movie was
overexposed,
driven.
Yeah,
and I feel like that rocked them too, where they're like, oh crap, like we can't just throw shit at the wall and people are going to take it.
No, you got to have implications, I think, going forward, because if Kang is going to be the big baddie,
I mean, they're probably going to move the Eternals off world now, because nobody gave a fuck about them. That
should have been in the past anyway. That whole movie.
And it should have been in the past, and they should have been off world.
Yeah,
it would have made sense. That again, this need to bring everything into the current timeline is also frustrating as hell. It's just like, you want to set things in the past, set them in the past. It makes more sense.
Yeah, you got to kind of
shit the bed.
You got to kind of
making.
Yeah, you kind of have to wonder.
Hang on. They're still making Eternals 2, which I'm surprised with that. That if I was them, I'd scrap it. There's not much you could get out of it. I
don't mind bringing the Eternals back, but I agree with you. But they don't need their own movie.
Could it be a Disney Plus show? Like, that's kind of what I was wondering. Like, if we were going to do Eternals, could it be a Disney Plus kind of thing?
It would feel like relegation if they did that.
Yeah,
I mean,
they could do Eternal, or they could do an Icarus show. Icarus, Too Close to the Sun.
Well, look, I want to quickly just jump back to She-Hulk very quickly. And then I want to get into the comments. We've had a cameo every week. We had Bruce Banner in episode 1, then we had Emil Blonsky in episode 2, and Wong in episode 3. Each time felt like a baton pass, but we did have Bruce Banner in 2, and then we had Emil Blonsky. We did have Emil Blonsky in 2 and 3. Then we had Wong. Might get Wong in episode 4. That would lead on to somebody else. I don't know. Obviously, we do know that Matt Murdock will be in this show eventually as well. But do you think there'll be anybody else to come in?
I'd like to see. If they did something Captain America related for shits and gigs and relating to America's ass, I'd be happy. I'd be like, okay, good. We got like an America's ass kind of, moment, like where she fangirls over America's ass. Like, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, but America's ass is like 132 years old now. So
yeah, but it would be hilarious to be like, oh, you're Captain America. Or, if like, like we said, like, what if we got like a flashback scene of like Tony and Bruce in the bar, in the old days, just for shits and gigs. Like, that'd be cool too for a cameo. But I don't know. Other than that, what else could you do?
I mean, we don't need a cameo.
And at least 2 episodes, you're definitely going to get Daredevil and the leader.
Yeah.
So who else can you get? Probably going to get Val come in.
I would say. Oh, go ahead, Jen.
No, that's it. Yeah,
Oh, I honestly, maybe just for a comedy bit, have Sam Wilson show up as Captain America, and there's some legal rights issues with him using the name Captain America, and
she could fangirl over that and be all like, "So America's ass? What was he like?" Blah 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 blah. And then he's like, "Oh my god,
you are really obsessed with America's ass."
Like you are really obsessed with America's ass. Like what is wrong?
You are.
No, I'm not.
You are obsessed with America's ass.
You bring Sam. Listen, this is how you bring Sam Wilson in. It was, if it was his brother who put Abomination behind bars, then he could come in and say, "What the fuck? Yeah, my brother
what
put
are you
this guy
doing
behind bars," and you just
that's actually
him.
another good point, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, so but once again, once you get a snippet of this character in there, then you want them to fulfill something other than just showing their face. Obviously, Rhodey just showed his face in Falcon and Winter Soldier, but if Sam Wilson comes in as Captain America and now he's Captain America, we would like to see him maybe throw that shield around a little bit, maybe play frisbee with She-Hulk. I don't know, but let's just get to the comments and wrap this shit up, shall we?
Or what? While you bring that up, or a post credit scene of She-Hulk doing like a Avengers trial or something like that. Like he's like sitting there like interviewing her. So why do you want a position on the event?
Blank. Yep.
Right,
so Jen shop is apparently a big and tall. I know that style of shop is for fat people and tall people, or fat and tall people. Someone like the Undertaker would go there. You know what I mean? And Glenn Jacobs and all.
Do we have to have wrestling references in this show? Yes, we do.
Yeah, god damn it. Yeah, wrestling references.
So you can trust Amil, but don't trust Abomination. But they are the same person. Now like there's no split personality. Even when he became Abomination in the Incredible Hulk, he was still Emil Blonsky.
Yeah, he was still Emil Blonsky.
You know what I mean?
He just was a little bit more ragey.
Yeah.
So anyway, Abomination motive is not to be trapped in a prison of Amil. Yeah, but he had the opportunity to escape.
He had the opportunity to do it, but he could have done it, and he didn't do it.
Well, and that's why I stand behind Zam's theory that he's being he is wanting to get out the right way right now. I'm just saying something's going to happen after he gets out.
Yeah, I agree with that. No, that's for sure. I think he'll be recruited into the Thunderbolts, but as their version of Hulk for sure. But it just makes no sense that if he puts himself in a position where he could end up going back to jail again, well, then what's the point of all of this? So don't think of Amil as just one person. Well, at the moment, when you saw him, when you changed, he goes, look, I'm perfectly in control. I'm in control.
Yeah,
no
I'm all right.
Like Smart Hulk, he is one person right now. It's not Abomination and Amil. I think it is the same person right now, just like Smart Hulk is Bruce Banner and the Hulk. Like it's one person now.
Ginger, I'm going to say this to you in particular because no offense you two. But were you getting some sort of Quentin Tarantino, Tim Roth vibes when he's just sitting in the chair, laid back? It's almost like, he was like, it did feel a little bit of a show. Like he's saying he regrets everything, yet he's just sitting back, relaxed. He didn't come across quite concerning. Have you seen Tim Roth in some of the Quentin Tarantino films?
I didn't get a Quentin Tarantino vibe from it at all, no.
No, fair enough. I was just thinking that a little bit from him. Anyways, everyone, please hit that like button. You fucking goddamn right.
And you better subscribe too, damn it.
Yeah. Do you seriously use Twitter as a viable source of news? Yeah, I do. Sometimes.
Hey, man, if it happened on Twitter, it's true. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
100%. That's right.
I sometimes like to hear what people are saying on Twitter regarding particular news stories. That's mainly it. Yeah, no offense. Would they do that to a male superhero that has turned his backstory into a comedy?
Knowing the mouse, it's only a matter of time, haha. Because we're gonna get away with that, haha.
Did they not do that with Scott Lang? I mean, to a degree, like
they kind of did. Yeah.
Yeah.
They made his backstory kind of a little bit of a comedy.
Yeah. Iron Man to a degree. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, Iron Man's origins was. No,
Iron Man.
It was good.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I don't think they commented.
Actually, no. Yeah, sorry. I was just thinking at the very beginning when he
wants a cheeseburger. Yeah. Can I get a cheeseburger?
Sort of stuff. Yeah, but yeah, you're right. The actual thing that turned him into Iron Man, that wasn't comedy at all.
No.
I will have to wrap my brain around some of these male
Well,
superheroes.
if Marvel today did Iron Man of 2008, they'd probably fuck that Origins up.
No, it'd be
Yeah,
already over
They'll
with.
just walk in and be like, "I'm Iron Man now. Let's have no talk about
How it
weapons of
happened.
mass destruction and doing dirty shit in illegal wars and all this kind of stuff."
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly.
They would whitewash Iron Man if they brought him out now. They would do that to almost every Marvel person now if they did that.
Yeah.
I mean, even Peter Quill to a degree, like the guy got kidnapped as a child, that should be harrowing, but they almost put a comical twist to it to a degree. Regardless, the only one I can really think of is Scott Lang.
Yeah.
Easy cameo would be Jen defending Ant-Man's crew they stole for a living. Yeah, and they're based in San Francisco, which is also in California.
Yeah,
So, and this
that would
shows
work.
in LA, so it can work. And finally, Daniel Bond says Iron Man was a drunk wife beater. It was smart to change his backstory. Wasn't that Howard Stark?
Well, that was
Hank Pym.
Hank Pym was a wife beater as
Hank
well.
Pym, it was the wife beater.
Yeah.
Iron Man was just when we had the demon in the bottle
Womanizer.
story, but that wasn't his origins. That wasn't his backstory. That was just something he became.
Yeah, Iron Man got
into
depressed.
Iron Man.
Yeah. Iron Man got depressed and his bottle was his best friend.
But like the wife beater stuff, no, they definitely wouldn't put that in.
No, Disney will not let that. They won't let it go that far. That ain't gonna happen.
No.
James, did you manage to see the Hank Pym episode of What If?
No.
I doubt it. I doubt it.
One.
Yeah.
That's
No,
a good
no,
one.
God,
That's
no.
probably one of the best ones. I don't know if you want me to spoil it for you now, but
Yeah, spoiler. I'm not gonna watch it.
like all the Avengers start dying, yeah, and then you find out it's actually Hank Pym because he just loses.
Oh
his
yeah,
mind.
I did see that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the earlier ones.
Yeah,
Episode
Yeah,
3.
yeah.
That was great,
Episode
man.
3, yeah, I did see that.
It showed you how powerful. Like, he killed the fucking Hulk. He shows you how powerful
Splat.
Ant-Man can be. And I think when he killed the Hulk, they were making fun of the Thanos reference about going up his ass.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But yeah, great stuff. All right, fellas, we are done. Another episode of She-Hulk over with, and I look forward to next week to see if we are going to get another cameo.
Which we are.
This show goes. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe. I wouldn't be. I mean, I do feel that we might get a break of a cameo.
Yeah, we're very spoiled for choice. There's a lot of good shit on TV at the moment. A lot of good shit.
I'm gonna try to watch Lord of the Rings tonight so I can.
Oh, it's so good.
I'm
hoping. I was a little bit not impressed, but I'm hoping with a second watch when I just take some notes that maybe I appreciate a little bit more, because after watching stuff like Emergency Awesome and stuff, it maybe understands some of the things I didn't initially understand, and having that understand, but it was very hard for me to understand what the fuck was going on at times, but yeah, I'm hoping to. I want to love that show, by the way. I really do. I genuinely want to love it.
I got nothing bad to say against it at the moment. I know what it's doing. I know what it's setting up.
Oh my God!
The score is out of this fucking world.
This is frightening. Ginger actually liking something. He and Sam
things. He just
he's liking something. I'm shocked. Like, I don't know what to do right now.
I'll tell you what. I'm amazed.
Give it by episode 5, you'll hate it.
Probably not. But I'm amazed some of the people are complaining about the pacing of this show when they fucking sit there and binge things like Game of Thrones and Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, who have similar slow pacing in a lot of their episodes. It's just like, really, you're complaining about the pacing? I found the pacing okay. I get the gripes, but give it. I recommend people watch it.
I'd be amazed if Ginger can make it to 5 episodes without hating something. I'd be like, it'd be a sign of the apocalypse.
It's the world of Tolkien. I'm gonna love it.
Ginger made it through 23 episodes of Harley Quinn, and he liked it. And then after that, I think we were all a little upset with that.
Well, everyone is, and that's why they got rid of the fucking. The showrunners have moved on, and they've put in a new showrunner for season 4.
And it's already about to end. Yep.
Well,
no, they renewed it.
I think
they've renewed it. They've renewed it for another
season.
Yeah, but don't worry.
Apparently, they've renewed it for 5 seasons, dude.
Oh,
we're talking about Harley Quinn.
Oh, sorry, I apologize.
Oh,
Harley Quinn. Yeah, Lord of the Rings. It's got a good reception so far, apart from some of the anti-woke dickheads who are spamming like hate for it. But the general consensus is like, yeah, it's just usual thing, the pacing. But it's just like, calm the fuck down.
We got to do our final ratings.
That's how you build a good story. Where there's no rush.
Yep. We got to do our final ratings, and then we're gonna plug Castle Crashes or whatever the fuck we're doing tomorrow. I don't even know what.
Final ratings.
Yeah, final rating.
Okay, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Cheeto.
7 out of 10. That sounds right about where I'd say.
I agree. 7.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 7.1 just to piss everybody off. Why you got to go with 7.1?
I'm pissed off right now. You have no idea.
Yeah, 7.1.
I can't sleep.
I'm furious.
I can't sleep.
I'm furious.
I'm gonna let you all tear up over that tonight. 7.1 out of 10, pal.
Quickly back to the comments again. Have a great evening, everyone. See you for the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, we haven't really given you a time yet, but we will just keep on YouTube and we'll let you know exactly what that time is.
Yep.
Apparently, Lord of the Rings is breathtaking. Well, it was fun to see you guys again. It was always fun to see you, Cara Hughes. As I said last time, we're here for. I had to write this down because it was so goddamn good. We're here for people like yourselves who are here for us. Yeah.
Tomorrow, if you guys are wrestleheads, Ginger and myself will be doing a live watch along of the W Crash of the Castle or whatever the fuck it's called. Yeah, the W.
Yeah, but it's on.
Crash
so,
of the
be mindful. It's on at 5:30 p.m. UK time.
Depending on what time you have to get up. Yeah.
Midday USA, East Coast, and go back a couple of hours off for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I heard Triple H changed the name of the pay-per-view to Clash of the Clitoris. So
never heard of it. Yeah. Anyway, and on Sunday we also have AEW All Out.
This is gonna be a good weekend.
Yeah, it's a busy fucking weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of stuff.
Because of the wrestling thing, which will be at 5:30, you're going to be doing a live watch along for that. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, live watch along 5:30 UK time.
So yeah, maybe about 3 or 4 hours after that, we'll do our Lord of the Rings. Like maybe 10 o'clock UK. Would that be a good time?
Yeah, because it's going to be over by then. So because it's only like 4 hours, so you guys got time tomorrow.
Yeah, it finishes at 9:30 and all of that. If I've got the energy, then Lord of the Rings. Who's joining Lord of the Rings?
I mean, I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to watch both episodes tonight so I can join.
Well, I got work in the morning, which makes it difficult. Okay. We could do it maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon if we want. I mean, if I'm back in time, but no promises.
Well, we'll play it by ear then.
Yeah, we'll just play it by ear.
Either that, or we'll just log in randomly in the pay-per-view and just start doing our review.
No, you won't, neither.
Yeah, see, for the Lord of the Rings, it should be real, definitely. And like I said, I'm gonna watch it a second time at some point tomorrow as well. So let's hope I fucking appreciate it more second time round. I really want to fucking love it.
It would be weird if Jens liked it and you hated it. It'd be a sign of the apocalypse. I'd be like, oh my god.
No, because I have more class, so I like the clever, better written stuff, whereas you lot like garbage. Just who I am.
Ginger, is that why you're my hero?
I love. By the way, I do love a good slow burn. It wasn't that. It was just I wasn't able to grasp everything that was happening. It was,
there's probably I'm imagining there's a lot of lore involved in that, so that's why I'm like,
apparently
Dam's usually
they're making a lot of shit up as well.
Like lore.
Yeah, they've done a few tweaks that are a bit like eyebrow raising, but yeah.
Wonderful. We'll see you then too. All right then, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel you never heard of. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.